that's a fine example of how much I read the Psalms. Because that's part of my Psalter that has completely fallen apart. And that dead flower over there, that's probably been in this car for like 2 years. My priest gave that to me, God knows when. You know, I've been thinking a lot about how much everything feels like it's rapidly changing, and how my method of digging in my heels even more and trying to remain exactly the same is probably silly and stupid. But I don't know, people are so easily swayed, are they not? It's like all it took was for devices to be introduced into society, and you know, a decade goes by and now it's like all that people care about. And that doesn't mean that we don't still have our natural born instincts, things that we naturally desire. But whenever our habits fill our time, it becomes a lifestyle. And the lifestyle sort of replaces a lot of those. I don't want to say that we don't have the desires or the instincts anymore, but it's like they've been changed a lot. They've been altered to revolve around the habits, to revolve around the lifestyle. So in order to get laid, we have to swipe. In order to not be alone, we have to go on these god-awful websites that actually isolate us. You know? And those of us lucky select few that don't seem to mind whatsoever being isolated, it's like we don't want to fuck with any of it. But I'm not a sheep, which is why I tried to warn the sheep that they were severely damaging themselves, because they didn't have to do this to themselves. They chose to. I think I'm just a lot more conscious of choice. And I don't know if that's because, like, I'm an actual American. This is Memorial Day. I just saw the flags and I remembered, oh yeah, we don't have any memory, so this holiday is kind of pointless. I mean, eventually that'll be true. Eventually people won't even remember that anybody died for this place. You know? Eventually people won't remember the holidays that we've been told are important. And that's really sad and depressing, but it's also what people have chosen. They have chosen to use these devices. And you know, it does bother me. it does bother me because I think about things like my attention span and the fact that I keep telling myself that I'm gonna read and I don't. I mean, I still read the Bible, so that definitely counts for something. And I'm still doing creative stuff. I mean, I'm not just like staring into the void, but I hate how anything that I say or do is tainted. I mean, I know it's always going to be affected in some kind of way, and that's kind of silly for me to not expect that or to be mad at myself about that, you know? But, like, you notice how whenever some celebrity talks about something, and all it takes now is some e-celeb, whatever the fuck that means, a person that makes their money online, like, I've noticed that, you know, when one person will say something and then people think that one person's important, and then more and more people will start to say it and echo that sentiment, whether they actually agree with the sentiment or not. That's what's telling about it. Is that a lot of the time, I wonder if these people even want to be talking about it. They just know, oh, well, this is trending, so I should talk about it, because then the video will actually get watched. And I realize that if I want to be more popular, if I want to get any kind of traction, all I have to do is lie. And, well, I think I've told y'all that there have been many times when I'll put up a video title and I realize that it could be interpreted as bait. Because every time I'm right about it, you know, there's always going to be some narky pants in my audience that feels the need to comment specifically on the title. So they make it clear that they don't even watch the video. If they do, they watch maybe like 2 minutes of it, 30 seconds, whatever. And see, I could do that more. I could create way more baitable titles. But I don't want to look at the world like that. I don't want to look at people like they're fucking fish, you know? I mean, I know that that's how Jesus looked at us, but it was a little different for him. Like, I do want to be fishers of men, but not in that way. Not in that way. I don't want to be fishers of men through a fucking algorithm, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you've got all these people, they're just making content because they feel like they have to comment on what's going on But that's exactly what they want. Because keep in mind, the algorithm is just a reflection of what this place already is, a giant experiment, okay? So what that means is that anytime that people talk about the popular thing, anytime that people pay attention to, you know, what celebrities are doing or what politicians are saying on their Twitter page, okay? So anytime that people will comment on that or do a video on that or get angry about it or upset or gloat about it and talk about how much they love the president or how this celebrity is a good person or whatever, you know, whatever it is. It's like at any time that people do that, they're just giving in. They're giving in. And I'm not saying that they're bad people for that, by the way. I just don't want to have to do that. You know? I really don't. But you know, there have been some videos that have gotten a lot more attention than other videos. And I've noticed that it was the title of the video, or you know, it was me peeing on the road or something like that, that made people pay a different kind of attention to it. But you know, the fact that me peeing on the road is the most popular of my videos just kind of shows you how fucking retarded everybody is. You know? That's what gets them going, apparently. Like, why would people want to entice a society like that? Why would people want the approval of a society like that? You know? Like, in a way, I think that not having approval is actually a good thing. Not being popular is actually a good thing. That probably sounds like a cope, doesn't it? But, like, I am virtually unbaitable. I am unbaitable because I know that I'm right. Like, the way that I live my life is somewhat questionable, and it's annoyingly authentic. It's obnoxious. In certain ways, I behave like a total sociopath. I was always jealous of sociopaths. I was jealous of them because they seem untainted. And so I definitely like kind of mirror that quality in certain ways, because I don't want this world to like determine like the direction that I go. And that's the really sad thing to me, is that so many people are dictated by the world. And I have to wonder, like, who are these people without the world? What would we be without this place? Telling us what's cool, telling us what's important, telling us what's popular, telling us what we're supposed to love and hate and feel so about, you know? Deep shit.